Oh, hey, we're live for lunch. I think. God, that camera quality is terrible. I get a new webcam. Because I'm just on the older PC, that's why. Well, not the older PC, but the older laptop. Why are you lagging so horribly? My God. I don't know what's going on. Are you going to spasm out on me again, computer? Okay, we're doing good. Okay, hello everyone. Sorry. God, this computer and I, we just have not been having a good day. And again, I apologize for the horrible camera quality, but it's what comes with this PC, so yeah. So I heard that the Croods are getting a sequel. I don't know, and I really don't care. I've never seen the original. But I mainly just want to wait for some other people to get in here because I'm going to be talking about something that basically targets the channel as a whole. This is something I've really been kind of debating on over the years, but yeah, I finally come to terms that I need to talk about it. Hey, Super Spike. Saw you in the stream chat and you played that thing, whatever it was, that Cards Against Equestria copy, I guess. I don't know. Hello, Eddie Jimenez. Yeah, you again. Hi, you again. I just want to make sure there's a good audience before we even start talking about this, but yeah, it's going to target the channel. And it's nothing, it's not necessarily a big thing, in my opinion, because it's not really something of huge value to me. It's just, I don't know, I just don't feel like I want to do this anymore. So, okay, guess we'll just get started. So recently, I've been really thinking about something. You guys know I do reactions and I do readings. Well, this kind of came to my attention one day when I was just trying to do a reaction. I realized that I just didn't feel it anymore. I wasn't enjoying it like I normally would have. Or no, it's just gotten to the point of where I haven't watched one of your streams in a while. Oh, hey, Dover Rarity. Man, you haven't been on my streams in a while. But basically, I just don't feel the reactions anymore. Therefore, I'm going to make this a reading only channel now. I'm taking the react because if you can't have fun while doing something, then what's the point in doing it, you know? It's not that it's because they get low views or anything. One of them has over freaking last time I checked about over 100k views, if I remember correct. Yeah. I just don't feel it anymore. I don't. I will happily continue to watch the content that I did react to, but I just don't feel it anymore. I may actually finish up the ones that are still going, like Remembrance. Like I may finish up that one, but I don't know about any others. I just don't feel reactions anymore. Like I go to do them and I just don't feel like, you know, how I do when I go to read. Like if I'm reading a story, I feel hype. I feel all the way there. I feel 110%. Reactions anymore, they're not worth it. I just don't enjoy it anymore. So I'm moving on from those. It's just been something I've been kind of thinking about over the years. Yeah, it's fun while it lasted. But I figured I'd just get that out of the way because this is important to those who do enjoy the reactions. I just don't feel the reactions anymore. Like I'm not having fun doing them. So therefore, what's the point? You know? You'll support all the way. Thank you. To be honest, I was never as interested in those as the readings anyway. I'm sure the rest of us will understand too. I hope so. The readings are the high product of the channel. They are the ones that get the most views. They're the ones that bring in the most content, the most everything. You know what? They're what I put my time and effort into the most. Trust me, this past week has been work, 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 work. It has been nonstop. I've been pacing myself, which is good. Like normally I'll get started in the morning around, depending on when I get up, probably around 11 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, which is a good time to start. But I make sure I have at least one cup of coffee in me, and I'm following the ritual. I am following my current ritual. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen this. My ritual now, before I edit anything, is to watch a reading by Obab Scribbler, or yeah, like a story reading. This has helped a lot because it's helped me to spot things, that may or may not be big problems. Like one of the biggest things that I have the hardest time with in the reading productions is plosive removal. Plosives can be tricky because of the fact that if you don't know what a plosive is, it's basically the pop sound that you hear if like a heavy amount of breath gets emitted into a microphone's diaphragm. Basically the whole thing is sometimes they're hard to judge whether or not they're worth taking out. How I put that is like this. If it's noticeable to me, it's noticeable to my viewers. Like if I can hear it, my viewers can hear it. Now, when you add in music and all that stuff, yeah, then things get kind of different. But the problem with the problem with me is that I can't just leave the mix unrendered when I go to import like the secondary stuff, like sound effects, background music, blah 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 blah, that stuff. That's currently what I'm on at the moment with the Month of Macabre project. This is the biggest project by far that I've ever done, production-wise. Like, okay, Unmarked was probably the biggest one in terms of audio and how long it took to finish it, but this one has been a humongous challenge. It's been nonstop. Like, what was the total that I came to? Like 70 something, no, 60 something art pieces. Good God. Yeah, this is a big one, guys. So look forward to this Halloween. It's been playing with my patience a lot. Like, a lot. It's been lucky. Like, yesterday, I almost said fuck everything because basically what happened was Audacity derped. Like, I had the mix going and basically it crashed. So what I had to do was this. When it came back in and did the autosave thing, basically what happened was the main audio track, none of the background stuff, the main audio track got freaking corrupted. This is why I always save my clean style, my clean like recordings, because it's important. If I wouldn't have had that saved, I would have probably had to re-record it, which sucks. So yeah, it corrupted the audio and I had to start all over again. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I was so ticked off. I was about ready to go full Markiplier on this chair and kill it. Like, I was that close. It's a lot of work. Also, if you can hear that, it's just because I got some chips and just having a snack. But I have been pacing myself. It's just a lot of work. So look forward to this Halloween because it's going to be a big one. The longest one? Let me think about that for a minute. I got to think about my Halloween specials. Good Lord. The final part to a Lyra song. Well, a Lyra song in total is like almost 2 hours long, I think, or about an hour and a half. Then Crystal's Revenge was around 58 minutes long. Yeah, this would be the longest Halloween production project that I've put together in length. That's what she said. How was your B-Day? My B-Day was pretty good. Just your average day, honestly. I mean, I'm 26, I'm only going to get older, so no need to celebrate like much. I had a stream with my fans and had some fun. So there you go. Had 2 beers and enjoyed my day. Hey, sorry that I keep missing your streams. It's fine. No worries. If you can't make it, you can't make it. Hey, Sparrow, I've been watching your videos for a while, and I have to say, I think the reading I enjoyed the most was probably your 2 stories, Reborn and Bittersweet Apple Lake. Oh my god. I feel bad for you. Hello, headset. Reborn is actually not that bad in terms of audio quality. It is not that bad. Like, honestly, it's not that bad. I'm honestly shocked to say that too. That's back when I had the potato mic, like, and not this mic right here, this beast, or the Blue Snowball. Yeah, that was recorded way back in the day, but it's not that bad in terms of audio quality. Even the narration's not that bad because it's all first person, so I have to be the character. So yeah, Reborn's not one of my bad ones, but Bittersweet Apple Lakers, I wish I could go back and fix things. I wish I really could, but I just can't. So I have to deal with it. But basically, the thing about Bittersweet Apple Lakers is there's some things in it that I chose to do that I really wish I could go back and fix and make sound better. Such as the scene where Crimson is getting branded, which if you don't know what that is, that's when they basically take a piece of hot metal and they against your skin. It's what they do to cows, horses, livestock to basically keep them to their owner. So in that scene, there's a reverberating kind of scream going on, and I did not like it. Oh man, I listened to it now. I'm like, bad. No, bad me. I should have waited longer to Redux it. That's what I should have done, but whatever. You win some, you lose some. You learn as you go. I need to admit something. The reason I've been missing so many streams is I'm finding myself less and less interested in MLP in general. I've been a huge fan of you for a while now. That's fine. I mean, I honestly can understand why you would have a like why your MLP interest would be down right now, because MLP is down in terms of content. Well, MLP G4 is over, so of course the fandom's going to die down just a little bit. It's a huge fandom still, but it's not as big as it was, and it's not as active as it was. I mean, that's why I've kind of went to some like alternatives. Like I've been checking out how do you say his name? Danganronpa. I think Ronpa is how you say it. Danganronpa. God, fuck me. The words, what are they? They don't exist. But it's basically an anime. My friend Webcake is really heavy into it, so I decided to check it out. I really, really love it. It's fantastic. I like the Phoenix Wright style of it. I like the characters. It's basically a lot like, almost like Saw, kind of, sort of. Almost Would You Rather-ish, too. Because basically it's about 16 students that get locked up in a school, and basically the only way out is murder. You have to murder somebody. Only in the case of this, it's not like Saw where you're timed or anything like that. It's basically ran by a high head, but you have to figure out who that is. That's what I like about it. It's a mixture of like Clue and Phoenix Wright. It's really good. I really enjoy it. I still haven't been able to get to season 3 yet because I'm not really sure how the order goes. My friend Webcake helped me out a little bit, but I haven't been able to get to it because of this project. This project has taken up a majority of my time as of late. Also, I hope I'm not killing your guys' ears. I've got the mic back quite a bit, so hopefully it's not killing your guys' ears. Show that. I said show that, please. Thank you. Okay. And to be honest, even if I stopped watching your content completely, I don't think I could unsub. I appreciate that. I mean, I know I've been doing like older stuff lately, but trust me, it's all for entertainment's sake. Well, Silent Point was more of a challenge, but it was also for the entertainment purpose. That's literally every single reading. Oh, my parents are home. That's fine. So, hold on. My computer's saying, you need to update me. Well, I can't update you, so shut up. Anyways, I just like the stories of those 2 fics. They were creative, good plots, and they were pretty twisted too, but yet not over the top. Get out of here. Leave me alone. Fucking Windows updates. Hold on. I'm right here. I just need to let the dog out. Okay. Green thing's working right. Yep. Okay. I just like, okay. There is a lot of lore that you must dig, and it is screwed up. I can't say that word. Well, I could, but YouTube. But basically, all I know is the first season of Danganronpa. I think that's how you say it. But it's a good anime. I really enjoy it. And you're talking to somebody who hasn't watched much anime, aside from Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, the usuals. Hi, Trash Bean. Changed my name. Oh, hey. I think you want to recognize you by your profile pic because I've seen that before. Just got here. What's happening? We're just talking. Just talking. Also, very important aspect to the channel is that I am taking reactions away. I may finish up like Remembrance because that's an ongoing series that I'm currently doing. So the reactions are going away. I just don't film them anymore, and I don't feel like I should do them anymore because I don't have fun doing them. So what's the point of doing them? That's pretty much it. I love stories so much. I love stories so much. They so amazing. They inspire me to do a lot of stuff. You're epic, Uvu. Old way, amazing. Old way will be OVO. Oh my god. Jesus, I feel like I just got a grammar lesson. Hello, Honey Tea Lulu Animates. Oh my god, that name. Very fancy like. But basically, yeah, the reactions just I don't film anymore, guys. I'm sorry, but I just don't. I am keeping the readings. The readings are staying. I just don't know where I'm gonna go because I really want to go just not just stick to Pony. I want to do other things as well. But I can't just do a random story because of copyright. You can't do that. You gotta put copyright in your mind as a creator. Okay. Like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know where I'm going yet. But I'm getting into new things. I like Danganronpa a lot. It's a really good series so far. My favorite character has got to be Kuriguri. I mean, honestly, she is the coolest character. I ship her and oh god. Not oh god, what's his name? Oh god. No, the main guy. Oh my god, Naegi. That's his name. Naegi. I ship him and Naegi so much. I mean, seriously, there were some scenes in there where they should just kissed. But I like her character being the smart one, and her memory's just been deleted because, yeah, that's the point. But I like the aspects of it. I like the story behind it. I heard the third season goes a lot deeper into like the backstory at the end that you learn about at the end of the first series. So should be interesting. Basically, the second season is a game, so I would have to play a game in order to learn the second season. And I've asked my friends that are more associated with this shit than me, do I need to, play the game to really get, season 3? And they say yes. Well, you should at least know what you're getting into, basically. Like there are certain things in season 3 that apply to or that applies to season 2 that you need to know, but I don't know where I'm going just yet. That's just kind of what I'm doing along with the Month Macabre project. Jesus Christ, this thing has been a handful and a half. Like it's been beyond hard. When you accidentally send an unfinished message and then delete it, that's okay. No big deal. Making toast, I always do during your stream chat because of your name. But yeah, I don't know. We're in a time right now, like as bronies, we are, well, not all of you are bronies. Some of you could just be horror fans. Like I know my channel is mostly brony based, but I know that there's also non-bronies that watch my content. I know there is. Because I've seen comments, people actually saying, "Hey, I'm a non-brony, but I enjoy this kind of thing," which is cool. I like that. I really do. I really think that's cool. I mean, you don't have to be a brony to really enjoy My Little Pony grimdark fan fiction, because it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just twisted in its own way. It's like watching a horror movie. That's how I put a grimdark reading. It's more like watching a movie in your head. And that's basically reading a book, technically. If you could give me a quick reminder, who voiced Applejack and Bears with Apple Curse? Her and I are not on good speaking terms, but it was Agent Fluffy. Agent Zero Fluffy. Her and I, not on good speaking terms at all. And I don't think it's my fault, but whatever. We'll let that go. So, I don't know. But basically, yeah, it was Agent Zero Fluffy. And she did a great job, I'm not going to lie, but I don't know. Past is past. But we're in a time right now where it's really hard to stay connected to MLP because of the fact that it's not, bing, 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 it's not going through the roof. When a new season of MLP premiered, people were hyped. I mean, G5 is still about a year away. So we just need to hold out a little longer. And what they've given us in the time is Pony Life. And I enjoy Pony Life. I don't hate it at all. Speaking of Pony Life, we're actually reacting to, I think, the final episodes tomorrow. If there's 26 to a season, I'm not actually sure if that's confirmed or not. I want to say yes, and I want to say no at the same time. But I do enjoy Pony Life. I'm a simple guy. I mean, you could put a fart joke in something and I would get a laugh out of it. I don't really give a crap. It doesn't have to be a legitimately funny joke that everybody has to get a laugh out of. Hello, Carmen Crosby. Carmen Crosby. I don't know who the Skull and Crossbones person is. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. But basically, I just continue to do it because I know you guys enjoy it, and I enjoy doing it. Even though editing can be a major pain in the rear sometimes. I can just assure you guys that what is coming this Halloween is beyond anything that I've ever done. At least within the time frame that I've done it. Like, I have never done anything this huge. Never. In a million years have I done something this big. When I first watched Pony Life, I hated it. But after watching a few more episodes, it actually grew on me. Now I can't stop laughing at it. See, and that's kind of the Pinkie Pie effect with me as well. Pinkie Pie, at first to me, was annoying and very obnoxious. But as soon as the episode came, what's it, Philly Pinkie Keen? I want to say it was Feeling Pinkie Keen. That was the one where I finally got her character and why she is the way she is. Along ones like, Party Pride and yada, 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 Too Many Pinkie Pies, the ones that basically really defined her character. When I got in, I was basically binge watching the seasons to catch up to season 5. So Pinkie was really obnoxious to me at first. So she was annoying, constantly talking Twilight's ear off. But Feeling Pinkie Keen was really the episode where it kind of made sense. Like that's where it finally started to make sense. Even though they did show in the opener that Pinky can't control the fourth wall by basically holding the closing thing around her. I mean, I didn't get the fourth wall joke at first until my friend told me, and I'm like, oh, so that's what that means. I got Pinkie Pie's character was annoying to me at first, but then I started to like her character. I mean, she's had bad episodes for sure. Like, even get me started on Rock Solid Friendship. Good God. Terrible episode. Well, not terrible episode, but terrible Pinkie Pie based episode. The story around it is good. I like I like the communication between Starlight and Maud. What is on my foot? Go away, please. But basically, I just didn't like Pinkie Pie's character in that episode. She was a fly on the wall, constantly bugging everybody, rather than letting them associate how they should be associating and becoming friends. So, Pinkie Pie effect with me, yeah, you don't just judge it by what you get off jump. Like, I know what Pinkie Pie is supposed to be. Pinkie Pie is supposed to, or Pinkie Pie. I know what Pony Life is supposed to be. It's meant to be simple, fun for kids, but I enjoy it because I like that kind of humor. I'm one of those guys that likes toilet humor. I'm a huge fan of toilet humor. Hi, Darky. Good God, these names. Darky Body 32. I don't know. I have no idea. But basically, yeah, Pony Life isn't G4. It was never intended to be G4. It's never going to be G4, but it's fun. It's fun enough for me to like it. But I don't know. Things are just going to be kind of, I don't know. It's hard right now for bronies to really stay interested. We're in a time lapse right now where it's kind of things are down and low right now. So we need to just kind of hold out a little longer because G5 is going to be here before you know it. I mean, look how fast this year's flown by. Like yesterday, it seemed like 2020 was just barely starting. God forbid it ever even, God forbid it, but it might have been better if it never even started. I mean, this has been the worst year in my entire life. I cannot give you guys another year in my entire 26 years of life that was as bad as 2020. Like, I don't know what to say. Almost every month has had a bad thing associated with it. Sometimes political, sometimes non-political. The strain hit, the fires, the 2020 just seems like the year of nothing but bad. That's why I loved that video on Twitter of that interview of God interviewing the year 2020 and basically canceling 2020. Please do. My God, it's horrible. I mean, it's so bad. Like, 2020 is going to be a fucking meme. I know it's going to be a meme, especially as the years go by. Like, I can't wait for this year to end so that we can finally say 2020 is done. The most garbage year in existence. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been some bad years, but my God, is this one bad. I mean, January was like the Bush fires. February, what was February? I don't know. Like, I don't know when the elephant in the room that I can't say because of YouTube's guidelines, I can't say that, is going to go away. But I have my views on it. People have their views on it. And that's how I look at it. I don't like to get into political talk because, yeah. Hey, keep up the good work. I love listening to you, and it's something new to hear a Mel reader, so keep up the good work. There's been a lot of Mel readers about. Goody Serenade's been here longer than I have. Let's see, what's some other ones? Shadow of Cygnus, Ilya. Just trying to go. I'm just thinking of like a Scribbler video. Like, who's all the Mel readers? Wooten. There's another one. He reads a very specific genre, but yeah, if you like that kind of crap, yeah, go go for it. I've watched like 4 videos by him, and that's been enough for me because he goes a little over the edge. I can't wait for that to end. Don't we all want it to end? Sometimes I think about life. Wow, 2020 has been a crazy and unexpected year. 2020 has been a garbage year. Honestly, it has. It's been nothing but negativity, hate, just horrible. Like, it's really divided America, if you think about it. Like, we've been divided, but this has divided America more than any other year in existence. It's really tested humans on how capable we are, or how we would react to something like what's going on right now. Well, we proved that we were basically vulnerable to basically, if we were told that there was a epidemic, we respond, pew, go to the freaking store and stock up on toilet paper, Lysol, blah 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 blah. When I heard about that, I'm like, oh my fucking god, this is so stupid. Luckily, I live in an area that's not like highly populated, so there's not really that worry in mind. But the food issue was kind of problematic. But ever since it kind of calmed down and people realized, hey, this isn't as bad as you think it is, finally people are getting the freaking picture that it's not as big as you think it is. Like, it's not another Black Plague. The Black Plague was caused by rats and was more epidemic. Like, it was more of an epidemic than this because it was constantly running through the sewer system. The water was getting contaminated, and that's what caused the Black Plague. Like, the cleanliness of back in those days was bad. So it makes sense why there was a plague that long in those days. But I'm just ready for this year to end. I hate it already. I was tired of it by March. Good to know. I'm never going to watch I thought Pony Life was kind of weird, but I don't know. I never watched it. You should give it a watch. If you like simple humor, you'll love it. I mean, it's very simple, but if you can't, let me just put it this way: if you can't handle the G4 ponies being different, then don't even bother. Like, if you can't go into it with a fresh mind, like there was an analyst that I got in my way. Sorry, but basically, I watched an analyst who made a video called "I Hate Pony Life," and here's the reason why: because basically they went into it expecting it to be G4. You don't go into something new thinking it's going to be something else. That's the best way I can put it. If you go into something new, you go into it with an open mind. You don't go into it judging it on how it looks, anything like that. You don't do that. Go in open-minded and give it a legitimate chance. And don't expect the characters to be exactly the same. I absolutely hate Fluttershy's character in this. She's my least favorite character. My favorite character is Rarity. And if anybody knows me, I do not like G4 Rarity at all. She's not one of my favorite characters. Minus season 7 Rarity, which was a fantastic year for Rarity. Season, excuse me, not a year, season. She did fantastic in that season. Like, that was her best season by far. Rarity is just not one of my favorite characters because in Pony Life, they did some things that really toned down problems with the characters in G4. Like, for instance, Rainbow Dash is known for her egotistical attitude. Like, her high-headedness and basically thinking she's all that. She is not that bad in this. She is actually really, really toned down, nerfed. Like, her egotisticalness, it's kind of there, but it's not all the way there. Like, it's visible, but she doesn't continuously boast about herself. Like, it is not even close to G4 Dash at all. Same thing with Rarity. Rarity is has dramatic moments still with like, the faint chair and all that stuff, but she is like, when she goes over dramatic, she doesn't go to the point where you're ready to rip your eardrums out. It's done in a comedic manner where it's funnier than hell to watch. Like, that's what they should have done with Rarity in G4 to make her a likable character. And they did it right in Pony Life. So they got some things right with the characters that they missed in G4. That's how I see it. Like, it's a chance to really change things that needed to be changed big time that they never got around to. Applejack's pretty much the same. She still is still as stubborn as a mule. She's still, I mean, the only thing they changed about her is that she could break the fourth wall. Technically, all of them can break the fourth wall, because in every single, as the episodes have went on, they've all had a fourth wall breaking ability. Like, at some point, all of them have broken the fourth wall. But that's fine with me. I like fourth wall jokes. I think it's kind of cool. Creative. Is there an MLP fanfic? Where did that comment go? Is there an MLP fanfic that you know of that you will not read? Let's see. Biggest one is Sweet Apple Massacre. Definitely no. Hell no. Hell to the fucking no. Never in a million years will that be done. There's another one. It's not very known of either. It's a very, very explicit one. Trixie has to do with Trixie. I know that. Trixie's Funhouse or something like that. It's a fucked up fic. The Experiments of Twilight Sparkle, because it's just cliche as hell. Rocket to Insanity. Grammar's terrible. What other ones can I roast? Pegasus Device. It's just the length. The length is way, way, way too long for me to even try that one. Like, if the chapters were a decent number long, it would be different. But when you've got 10,000 to 17,000 word chapters, that is almost like reading Unmarked in one sitting all the way through. Because Unmarked is, I think, around 23,000 words in total length. You going to lol on this? I thought Rarity was like a rich girl. No, that's what she is not like that at all in Pony Life. She's actually really, really mellowed down and is just she's dramatic, but in a comedic way, which makes her likable. So there you go. Also, Dasher can apparently travel through time. I don't know why, but okay. Just like Fluttershy has this growing ability, like she can grow huge and small. I don't know. She abuses it way too much. Discord is canon in the universe, and he's about the same. He's not as chaotic as he was before, like not as snarky and not as, Discordy as you think. Another one. No, just no. I mean, I was watching a podcast once. Was that the Chronicle of Cursed Word one? The one that was afterwards? I want to say yes. Because Lost said something about Shirley's Garden. It was an answer to the comments. So that would have been a live stream. That would not have been it would have been a stream. God knows which one it is. But basically someone asked something to do with Shirley's Garden. And she said that she wouldn't read it because of the fact that there is points in it where FolCon starts to happen, and that's a huge no-no. I mean, that's the barrier when it's too much in the terms of fan fiction. When I was a little girl, I had a Rarity, and I had nail polish that was red, and I painted it all over her, except I don't know why I did that, but I don't know. Kids are stupid, that's why. One Scootaloo dies in that fanfic. She dies in Rainbow Factory. Oh god, listen to Sweet Apple Massacre once back in 2012 when getting into the fam. Never again. Well, it's kind of like there's some of well, technically they'd be Mag's stories. Like the friendship test, once is enough. Once is enough. I'm just going to say it. Once is way too much. It's just enough. But that's what a grimdark is. It's meant to break you mentally, emotionally, and disturb you. That's what I like about grimdark. If it makes me only want to watch it one time, it's not its job. It has legitimately terrified me. I haven't had nightmares or anything about it like that, but I've taken inspiration from it. Hence, a year later, Chrysalis' Revenge. But I didn't copy Mag. Like, I was so afraid people were going to say I was copying the friendship test. People put it as me challenging the friendship test. Not exactly. I just took inspiration from it and applied Saw and Would You Rather elements into it with Chrysalis' Jigsaw. It's basically the same aspect, only with differences and different characters, of course. Like, instead of Starlight being the winner in this one, she's the loser. Well, technically, 1, 2, 3. How many of them die? I'm trying to remember. 1, 2, and there's 7 of them. Yes, so 7, so 5. All of them lose technically because in the end, basically, Chrysalis pulls the Jigsaw move on them, and that's what I like about it. That was the intention. Because one of my favorite movie endings ever in a horror movie that is one of the best ever is freaking Saw 1 when that twist. The Hello Zep part. That is one of my favorite, not only one of my favorite movie themes, but one of my favorite movie endings. And I've watched a lot of horror movies, so I know what I'm talking about. Maybe you can read some non-horror stories like Chilling Tales for Dark Nights. That would be creepypasta. Which creepypasta has kind of been an experimental kind of thing. It's getting really, really, really hard to really actually be able to do them because of the fact that they're starting to copyright creepypasta. And that's problematic. I mean, there's some authors that will allow you to use their work for, kind of like, what do they call it? Kind of license, a Creative Commons license. Which, what that means basically is you can use this as long as you credit, but you cannot use it for, like selling it. Like, you can't post this on somewhere and charge people money for it. Like, you can't use it for, like, what do they call that? Commercial use, commercial purposes. Like, you can't do that. You can earn from it off of YouTube, but you cannot charge people money for it. Like, that's basically how it's put. And I had to really read into this. Like, Scribbler got hit by it majorly because she's done a lot of creepypastas. It's mainly the No Sleep ones that are my favorites. But have I read My Little Dashy? I've watched the animated version that they did, like the real life version that they did. Storm XF3, I think, is the name of the channel. They made the real life version of it. Yeah, I bawled like a baby. I don't mind grim dark fanfics as long as Rarity, Scootaloo, and Sweetie Belle don't die in them because they're my favorite characters. Oh dear God. Let's see. I gotta think about that for a minute. You might want to stay away from Rarity's collection. because Rarity doesn't die. She's a killer. She's a killer. She is the killer. It doesn't say that Sweetie Belle dies in it, but she goes after Scootaloo. That and what's the other one that has that where Rarity kills? She thinks it's not Sweetie Belle, but it is Sweetie Belle. The double. That's it. Stay away from that one because Rarity kills her own sister. The reason why is because of the fact Pinky basically pulls a prank on her, not intending for murderous reasons, that basically Sweetie Belle has been taken over by a doppelganger. So the one that Rarity sees is the doppelganger that needs to be killed to save Sweetie Belle because it's sucking her life force from her or something like that. It's been a while. But basically, that's it's a screwed up fan fiction, and that's why I liked it. And a lot of people don't like it, but whatever. To each their own. Like a lot of people don't think that Pinkie Pie intentionally set this up. Pinkie would never do that. She wanted to pull a harmless prank. Rarity was sleep deprived and stressed over her out of her mind, so she wasn't thinking straight when she did it. And I had to explain this in the comments. She is not fully functional, so she's not thinking straight when she does this. She's completely completely devoid of sleep, and she doesn't have the best mindset when she does this. That's how you gotta look at it. When I was a little girl, I had spike toy. Okay. Why is it funny? Why is what funny? Okay, I remember that one. I will never read the double then. Thanks for warning me. It's not a very popular story, which is a shame, honestly. It's actually a really good one. Like, I wasn't expecting Pinkie Pie to be the one who pulled the shenanigans. Never. And the fact that she did it out of harmless intent is what makes it grimdark. Like, yeah, it's not a very popular one, but I like it. I really like that one. It was really well done and really sinister. If I had to pick a favorite, that's tough. Outside my own stuff, because I don't want to be biased. What really is my most favorite reading? What's my favorite story that I have read? That's a good question. It would have to be really, really good. Like, I would have to say that was a damn good story. Oh my god. Wow, that's actually really tough. Maybe a Process of Elimination, which is still in the works, but so far it's really good. It's completely unpredictable, and I don't know where it's going next. That's what I like about it. It's unpredictable. Have you seen High Tension? No, I have not. Never heard of it. You laughed at my comment when I said I won't read grimdark fanfics when Rarity, Scootaloo, and Sweetie Belle dying in them. A lot of fanfiction has that. That's why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because I'm jerk. I'm just saying it's funny because the fact is that there's a lot of that in grimdark readings or stories of like MLP, especially the oldie ones. Okay, here's a good one. Something Sweet to Bite. One of my least favorites. One of my most hated. Again, it's been a long time. I remember Diamond Tiara gets horribly murdered. So does Silver Spoon. Like, she gets Diamond Tiara, I think, gets eaten by the candy worm, if I remember correct. Yeah, I believe so. If I remember correct, yes. Because I re-listened to it not too long ago, just because I was trying to confirm thing, not because I liked the story. I don't like that story. It's all over the place, and its pacing is just all over. It's just not good. But I know in the end, the ponies end up basically bringing the candy mare back to life. Well, they end up eating the candy mare, which is a bad idea because she's just basically going to burst out of your stomach and basically kill every pony. And they're at this party, which means a majority of Ponyville dies. So I'm guaranteeing Sweet Belle, Scootaloo, and all of them are in there. Another one that I've read that's a really good grimdark. If you don't like the CMC dying, stay away. Can't Stand to Be Apart. That one is fucked up. It's a damn good one, but it's fucked up. And that's the kind of grimdark that I like. I like the ones that are fucked up because they are the best. Mine possibly be Chrysalis Revenger, Sketchy from Crafty Arts. I don't think I've heard about that one. I think I've heard. I know I've heard that name before. But yeah, Chrysalis Revenge 1 or 2. I mean, you gotta be specific. I mean, the second one's heavily saw based. I mean, honestly, that one's all saw based. Up until the end with the twist. as if Chrysalis weren't already broken enough. Another one where Apple Bloom gets she basically gets infected and becomes the Beast. Horror Dusk, another one that I read. Damn good adaptation of like ponifying the Strangers, which is one of the scariest fucking movies I've ever seen in my life. That is a disturbing movie, and if you have Disturbia, don't watch. It is heavily like, if you're afraid someone's gonna break into your house at any time, stay awake. I'm just saying. My favorite Mellow Point creepypasta was Fluttershy's Lullaby. I think that's the name. I don't call this one. If it's old, I probably don't know it. Remember the Grimdark? I just said that. That's kind of funny. I don't recall what happened towards the end of that fanfic, though. Basically, she got slashed by the demonic entity and she became the Beast. It's kind of in the case of like a werewolf bite. If you're bit by the Beast, you become the Beast. It's basically that. Was it the one called The Trees Are Screaming? I have never listened to that one. I've heard that one's damn good. It's one of Lost Soul or older ones. But yeah, I've never read it. When I used, I think I got my. Why do people get so scared by blood? Blood is not that scary. I get queasy at the sight of blood, but I am not scared of blood. Like if something's all bloody and like if something has blood coming out of its eyes, it doesn't scare me. That's why I don't get why people like Jeff the Killer so much. Jeff the Killer was so badly written and didn't make sense. It's like somebody was trying to recreate the Joker only as a kid. Because what Jeff the Killer should look like, he should not look like he's got bleached skin. He should look like he's a charred skeleton. He should look like he's Freddy Krueger, pretty much. Like a majority of that story makes no sense whatsoever. But that's creepypasta for you. That's what it was like back in 2012, 2013-ish. Rainbow Factory is very cool. Unpopular opinion, but I think that the Granddaddies, Cupcakes, Rainbow Factory are overrated. The reason why is because, okay, here's the problem with Rainbow Factory. It's titled Rainbow Factory. Where do we spend the majority of the time throughout the entire reading? Talking and dialogue. We don't get to the factory until like 20 minutes in. That's bad. Like, that's not good. If your main focus is not even the main focus by 10 minutes in at least, and this is a one shot. Keep that in mind. This is a one shot. So if it's a one shot, you want to get straight to the point. You don't want to lag luster. Not to mention, Dash has no motive, and that bugs the crap out of me. Whenever a villain does not have a motive, it bugs the crap out of me. You ever want to do a villain wrong? Don't give him a motive. Everything has to have a motive for doing something. That's why the tagline in Reborn is monsters are not born, they are created. Dash didn't just turn evil because of income problems of having an expensive house over Ponyville. That makes no sense. If you're going to murder ponies, you've got to have a legitimate motive. And that's the problem with a lot of the oldies, is the fact that none of the motives make sense, or there's none. Dash had none. Pinkie Pie, you could write a prequel to that, honestly. I know it's just Hostel ponified, honestly. It is. If you've never seen Hostel, basically what they do is they dissect humans and torture them to turn them into dog food or something like that. Yeah, screwed up. And horrible horror movie. But basically, in Cupcakes, her motive is this. Your number came up. Okay, what's the origin of this number? Why are we doing this? What's the point of this? I don't get it. See what I mean? When there's no motive, it makes no sense and makes the character unbelievable. Like, literally unbelievable. So it just feels like a toy porn. Literally. That's what it feels like. Which is exactly what it is. All you had to put in a shock fic was something to do with gore, blood or something just completely fucked up. That's all you had to do, and you had a good story back then. Now, nope, that don't fly. Let's see what else. I've already said why I don't like Something Sweet to Bite. The pacing is all over the place. The timing is all over the place. It's just annoying. Just freaking annoying. But Rainbow Factory's problem is the pacing. It spends so much time on pointless shit that we don't even need to know that plays nothing into the end finale, except that Aurora can't fly because of her broken wing. I don't get it. Like, what is so phenomenal about that? There's nothing phenomenal about that. So there, not to mention the two characters I hate voicing the most, the two truck drivers. Why couldn't we have had just a skip forward kind of thing rather than wasting time on pointless torture? That makes no sense. You know, that's the point. That's the point I'm making. Like a lot of focus is put in pointless crap that we don't worry about and nothing that's important. Now, what's being brought up is the cuff. That is a damn good Grimdark. I will say that. That is a granddaddy that I will respect. Because of the fact it's in one setting, it doesn't waste time, it gets right to the nitty gritty, right to it. Like it does not waste time at all. It's right to the point, like some pony coughed. That's like in the darkness, some pony coughed. That's literally the first words. And it's right there. Like setting put. This is how a one shot should go. It should be right to the point. This is why in Chrysalis Revenge, you don't have the scenes where Chrysalis is kidnapping the main six and Starlight and Trixie. That would be stupid and pointless. That's more meant for like, you know, something like if it's needed. But that's the point that I'm trying to make. And why the granddaddies are so overrated. The cough is damn good because of the fact it's just right then and there and it's straight to the point, like immediately. And the suspense is perfect. Like the setting right there. Like I could see this. Look at the world right now. If somebody coughs on you, they'll kill you. Like literally. But basically, you're trying to play Guess Who, and you don't know if you kill the person who actually committed the crime. You know, that is a good setup and a great pacing aspect. That is so much good. That is so much fun and so well done. Like, it's fucked up, but like I said, I love the fucked up stories because that's great grimdark. And again, at the end, perfect ending. Some pony coughed again, and you don't know who it is because they're in darkness again. The cycle repeats. It's like a lot of people think that 28 Pranks Later, the aftermath was based off the cough. No, it's not. The opening line is actually just, oops, I didn't mean to delete that. God damn it. The whole thing with 28 Pranks Later, the aftermath, it was just meant to be something that could have happened, you know. Should it, maybe this could have happened, you know, just a dark twist on something. That's it. It's not based off the cough. It's not inspired by the cough. It's not inspired by the coronavirus. It isn't. Literally, it's not. Like, a lot of people meme that, and I'm like, would you look at the dates? Like, let me think here. The Aftermath came out in 2016, way before this whole ordeal. And the second one premiered last year, so that was 2019, which was way back before this happened. So it's okay for people to meme it. I mean, I get it. It matches it almost perfectly. It's an epidemic. I mean, of course it's going to get memed. But that's it. I mean, I take inspiration from horror movies. I take inspiration from authors. But I don't ever try to steal someone like something from someone. Never. I would never do that. That's just not right. That's plagiarism. Do you watch anime? I'm getting to watching some anime. I just recently checked out Danganronpa. Damn good anime. Season 1 for confirmation. Let's see. The cough came before that. Yeah. Whoops. Can I please do something? Hang on, guys. I'm having a little bit of a lagging situation. Ay, caramba. There we go. That'll work. But basically, yeah, the whole ordeal with the old fanfics being the best, I don't agree with that. Some of them are actually really good. The Cough is one of them. Like, when I heard that story, I'm like, thank you. Finally, a good flipping Grimdark that makes absolute sense. I be creepy. I be watching you. Oh, I'll be watching you. Someone said something about can't stand to be apart. No, that is not The Trees Are Screaming. Two different fanfics. I'll be watching you is a creepy one, and I got legitimately disturbed actually doing the voice in that as what's his name, Tender Taps. Yeah, the only problem with it is it dragged a little too long, but that's okay. But yeah, it got to the point of being really, really not personal, but how do I put this? Like, it just felt uncomfortable. Like that's the thing. Like, especially when he says when like I collect your gum and all that stuff. I'm like you wanna do you honestly want to, get sick? I mean, that's the easiest way, but whatever, it's fan fiction. But that is basically like, yeah, I'll be watching you gave me the legitimate creeps. Like, I was like, oh, yeah. But it was fun voicing Tender Taps. I love voicing villains, so there you go. Like, I had a lot of fun voicing him. I didn't go for a certain voice. I just went for a voice, for my voice, and there you go. Has anyone read the MLP fanfic, The Lost Element? It's not a grim dark fanfic, but a human in Equestria. I don't like human in Equestria style stuff. That's not my style. Lost, and I know Lost doesn't like it either because it's stupid. Honestly, it's really stupid and feels really forced, but that's just my opinion. I think Scribbler doesn't like it either, even though she has done some human in Equestria stuff before. I can't read Spanish, so I will just ignore those. El Salvador Hequa Revolucionario. I have no idea. I never took Spanish. When they deflate, let me think about that one for a minute. Like, let me see if I can debunk that as a good or a bad one. Would Pinky, like, okay, it's fan fiction, so let's put this in an alternate universe. Yep, good one. Because of the fact Pinky, if it's an alternate universe, Pinky doesn't have to be a fun-loving character and all that stuff. So, or she doesn't have to be, who Pinky is in season 4. Or season 4, my God, G4. Thomas, God damn you. Okay, that's why it's yelling at me. Excuse me. The Lost Element puts so much detail into describing the scene. That's pretty cool. If that's your thing, go for it. I mean, honestly, I'm a very descriptive writer, which is part of the reason why there's so much freaking art in this upcoming Halloween special. Good God. But descriptive writing is better than actually, like, the descriptive writing is better than rushed writing. That's how I look at it. I'm heavily inspired by Stephen King. I've always loved King's works. Some are hit or miss, but everybody has hit or misses. Everybody does. Even the best. Hello, Jesus Christ. Hello, Darwin Watterson. Watterson? I don't know. I would think Watterson, but but basically all we can do right now, as you know who we are, we just need to really hold on. We can't give up because of the fact of what's going on right now. I understand it's a depressing year, but push forward, and that's all I can say. Has anyone heard of the butterflies? Almost made me retch on camera. Well, not on camera, but on mic, technically. I did a reaction to it. If you want to watch that, go all the way back to 2016, back when I was still pretty shy. I almost retched. Well, I almost threw up. That one scene with Rainbow Dash. Ugh. And I am not the only one who was affected by it. Lost herself when she was making the sound effect for that. The sound effect is just her taking it like a wash rag and wringing it out with wringing water out of it. That's all she's doing. And she has to tell herself. She had to tell herself during the editing process. It's just a wash rag. It's just a wash rag. It's just a wash rag. Like, she legitimately got creeped by it too. So I am not just the one. I'm not the only one guilty. The only problem with the fanfic, though, is the Fluttershy is that butterfly larvae don't feed on flesh; they eat leaves. They are consumers, so they will consume anything they feel they need to consume. So they will basically attack. They will attack anything. They will. So if they need to get out of a sticky situation, they will force themselves out. But again, the problem with butterflies is it makes zero sense. The butterfly larvae could not even get into anywhere past the stomach because of the fact, like I stated multiple times, there's only two directions that where she places them where she places them in the intestines is there's only two places it can go. It can only go out, one, the butthole, or two, back to the stomach. Which, if it goes back to the stomach, what happens is it dies because the acid kills it. I don't know if I actually don't know if the actual body heat itself would kill the larvae. Potentially. I don't know. I mean, it's 98.3 degrees is, I think, the natural body heat, even in a horse. But basically, yeah, the whole ordeal in that is it doesn't make sense. Like, none of that makes sense whatsoever, but I get it. Horror factor, shock factor, I get it. So, yeah, pretty much that's it. So, back to what we were talking about. Yeah, butterflies it's only that one scene that got me. Like, literally, it's only that one thing that got me. I did not expect it to be that, like, that whole scene with Rainbow Dash to happen. I honestly did not expect that to happen. See, we're getting some trolls in the chat, so we are going to just move on past those. But basically, the best thing we can do right now is we could just basically relive G4. Best thing to do right now is just to go back and watch G4. Like, if Pony Life isn't your thing, go watch G4. It's on Dailymotion. It's all over the place. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. I don't know if all the seasons are on Netflix though. I want to say yes. But basically, the best thing we can do right now is just do our best to hold on. But if you want to move on from this, go ahead. I mean, nobody's stopping you from moving on. Honestly, it's not. It's just about holding on to what you believe in. I mean, I still love the fandom. I still love the members of the fandom. Some anyway. I still love my friends. I still love the show. I love this fandom, and I will never look at it any other way. Like, okay, one of the things I still stick to. Thank you, Mark, for deleting those. By the way, could you just please delete those? Your computer's way faster than mine. But basically, the best thing you can do right now is to just hold up, hold on to what you believe in right now. If you want to move on from My Little Pony, that's fine. Nobody's stopping you. Me, I love the fandom, and every practice session, when I go to play guitar, I play the Prince Whatever stuff because Prince Whatever is still one of my favorite musical composers of this fandom. And well, he's not a composer, but he's basically a producer, mixer, yada yada yada, the whole 9 yards. But basically, I love his music because it not only inspires me, it also helps me. Like, I love to play the songs that he plays. It's taught me a lot. It's really helped me get more experience as a guitar player. It does tend to get repetitive, though. So what I have to do is I just have to kind of, I don't know, tell myself to expand past that. Like, sometimes I have to just take a minute to tell myself, I don't know if I can block them. Honestly, I don't know if I can. I tried hiding them, but apparently that didn't work because YouTube's stupid. But 4 will always be my home. It always will be. It will always be my home, and it will always be, where I started, and where I'll reside, because that's where I started and and that's it. I mean, how else can I put it other than that? Yeah. I mean, I came into the fandom just really not expecting to do much. Like, I really didn't know how to think when I joined the fandom, because play a song. No. But basically, I feel still attached to this fandom because I'm still making content, MLP based. But I will admit, Pony has gotten very, very, very burned out. Like, it's burning me out lately. Like, a lot of it has just been burn lately. I just cannot continue to just do Pony. I can't. I have to expand outside of MLP. That's just that's just basically the fact of anything. You do one thing for too long, it's going to eventually lose its grounding, and it's going to start to fall off. That's basically it. Like, that's all I can say. But My Little Pony will always be, like G4 will always be in my home because that's where I came in, and it's going to be the nostalgic one for me. Like, I came into it, I gained some great friends out of it. One of them is moderating the chat right now. Yeah, it's just been a lot. It's just been a great 4 years, even though this year's been shit. But yeah, and even though the Pony fandom has changed majorly since like 2013, 2012ish, it isn't going to deter me away, because if you leave the fandom for that reason, you're pretty weak. I mean, honestly, you don't even deserve to be called a brony if that's why you left. But people who have gained in the show, or have gained not interest, but like what's the word, experience out of the show, and have basically, like, how do I put this, have gained knowledge and experience from doing what they do. Like, look at some of the big names that have moved on into bigger works. Hazbin Hotel This is really, really interesting. I did not figure this out until afterward of the reaction that I did to Hazbin Hotel. Uh, a lot, I repeat, a lot of people from the My Little Pony fandom that started in the My Little Pony fandom are in Hazbin Hotel. Not as just a voice actor, but some people are musicians, some people are singers, some people are producers, some people are directors. You know, something like MLP can lead you to something bigger, which that's pretty much the case for me. I started doing fan fiction readings out of just boredom. Honestly, I was just like, if they can do it, why can't I? So I just tried it for fun. That's what I basically look for it. Thor wise, buddy, that's how everybody look. That's how every brony hater looks at a brony. Please leave my chat. We have had pedophiles. Yes, we have had pedophiles in our fandom, and we still do. I mean, every fandom has it. Before anybody says anything, we all, every single fandom has a pedophile in it, and that is a fact. People will use and abuse platforms and fandoms to get to, you know, doing what they want to do. Look at how long Zack got away with it. Look at how long Dusky Novel got away with it. Look how long. That one is still debatable. I don't know if he's a pedophile. At the most, he's a cheater right now. But I don't know if there's any legitimate evidence that he is a pedophile just yet. But enough talk about that. Yes, we have changed, but we're still here, and that's all that matters. It's just a tough time right now to really stay interested because there's little of it. So that's just like, do what I did. Make a ritual for yourself. I kind of got this idea from my friend Mark in the chat. His ritual was to sit down whenever he ate dinner. I think dinner. I mean, Mark's time schedule's all over the place. Like, he'll sit down and he'll eat his food and he'll watch a My Little Pony episode. So what I did was, like I said earlier in the editing, when I was talking about, what I do before I edit, I will sit down and I will watch one of Obab Scribbler's readings. This will give me a good interpretation on what I need to focus on when I go into editing. Like, do I need to really focus on this certain thing? Do I need to focus on this certain thing? Am I perfect? No. But, I want to make my content the best I can make it. And I also listen for like certain things that I think I could apply to my audio that might be better. Maybe turning the volume up a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, playing around with the, like, how do I put this? Playing around with the tone a little bit. I don't know. Something, maybe just one thing could really like open my eyes. Look at me. Look at how much my editing improved after I watched freaking Lost Old as Hell editing streams. I watched those way back in the day, back when I was still kind of learning how to edit. So I learned how to edit from Lost because originally I was doing basically every single track. We're talking 20 plus tracks. Every single sound, every single voice file, every single everything was in a different track. How the frick did I deal with that? I don't know. But basically that was how I got down, how to use the Amplify tool. I never knew what the Amplify tool did until I actually figured out what it did. And that's just come with learning and experimenting more with Audacity and learning more and more. That's literally it. Experience and just trying to improve. Like, I'm never going to be 110% perfect, but I can damn well try to be. And that's how I look at it. Like, I just try to be the best that I can be, and that's all I can be. Honestly, that's all I can be. Trust me, dude, you don't want to miss you know who, because if you don't know what he did to me, just go and watch a video called The Filth Known as said name. I don't even like saying his name. Like, that's how much he has scarred me. I don't even like saying his name. But basically, go and watch a video where I say the filth known as said name, my story. It's a live stream that I did where I tell my events of the entire thing up until when he was, found out in like 2018, I think. It's either 2018 or 2019, one of the two. But basically, this was my say on things because people were saying that I was saying certain things and doing certain things that I wasn't doing. Honestly, I wasn't. And I'm not going to lie, he sucked. He sucked majorly. Like, in comparison to what I was doing at the time, his crap sucked. Like, okay, for one thing, still image, no editing. Oh my god. Yeah, when he told me to listen to his stuff and I could hear mistakes being audible in his edit and his audio, I'm like, what is that doing in there? That should not be in there. And he'd get snappy at me about it, so I'd say, fuck you, I'm not reviewing your shit anymore. Yeah, don't ask me to review it. I've thought about maybe reading Twilight's Dollhouse just to prove I can be better, but I already know I'm better. So, plus the grammar in that freaking story is horrific. Like, oh my god. I looked at it once and nope, never gonna happen. Never in a million years is that gonna happen because it's just so bad. I mean, that's a shame when a story dies just because of bad grammar. It's like, I guess I can talk about this now since it's not an official project anymore. I was on a project called Journey of the Spark. It's based off of fan fiction called the same name. I read the fan fiction, and okay, not a bad idea, but problem, it's rushed as hell and all over the place. Like the rushed writing and bad grammar, it's just a shame. That's what killed it. It was a damn good story. Like, it had great concept to it and a great idea around it. But there's just something about it that the reason why I couldn't get off the ground is because of basically people anchoring the project. Which if you don't know what that means, voice actors not getting their lines in, people not getting their crap done, basically. It anchors the project and makes it completely and utterly unable to what's the word? Progress, like get progress done. It wasn't happening. So, yeah, it's a shame, but it's a damn good story. I mean, aside from the bad grammar and all that, it actually is a good story. The idea of the story is basically, how do I put this? Like, I'm trying to remember exactly how the story went. Basically, Twilight, like, okay, here was red flag number one for me. The story also had parts in it that didn't seem believable. It was Cadance first, right? Yeah, Cadance basically lashes at Twilight, telling her to basically run away because Shining Armor gets killed by a dragon. No, Mark, that's not the one you were in. You were in. That was the Kumar Killers. The one, okay, so yeah, Cadance basically lashes out at Twilight. Keep in mind, this is before she becomes a princess, so they're still really good friends. Cadance basically tells her, get the F out and never come back. Like, I'm not kidding you. She doesn't say that specifically, but she puts it that way. So this causes Twilight to run away. And keep in mind, this is also before Discord gets released from the stone. So she goes to the garden where the Discord statue is. And he manages to manipulate her into running away to some place called Droxid, which, if you don't know what that is, that's Discord spelled backwards. Funny wordplay, I'll give him that. Which is basically G1, technically. But yeah, it's dark. It's very dark and really, really cool. Like, I really like the idea around it, but it just did not. It's just a shame that it was so badly written. That's why we were trying to bring it to light and trying to give it the attention it deserved. But just blame the voice actors for not getting their crap in. I mean, the writers were doing their job, the artists were doing their job. It was mainly the voice actors. But it's whatever now. So, and if you want more aspect on the story, basically after Twilight runs away and is basically discorded by Discord again, basically her friends basically realize that they were shitty to her and they go after her. That one who did drop me once from the story. That was the Crimson Pit, which is also a main reason why me and Agent Zero Fluffy have bad history. I know that for a fact. That's the reason now. The Kumar Killer was a hit and miss one because what was the point of them killing? Because they were trying to see. Because the reason why they were trying to figure why they were killing was, twistedly enough, they were trying to see if that was their destiny. And they kept killing to see if it would work more and more, but it never did. It's kind of funny in a twisted manner, but it's also not a bad idea. I mean, there's another one that Lost Dread called the Cutie Mark. Oh god, the Cutie Mark Crusaders, I think is what it's just called. I know it's a grimdark or a dark fic, one of the two. I don't know what it's about. I've never listened to it, but it's an oldie. I don't really know, but again, that's not a bad idea. It's actually a really twisted idea. But I kind of had the same idea going into Unmarked. That's kind of the funny thing. Unmarked was originally supposed to be a Cutie Mark Killers type of story, but it got very, very different as I was starting to write it. Excuse me. As I was writing it, basically what I did was I came up with the idea of Apple Bloom having a therapist, which we can all guess who that became. He's in the chat, actually. So, yeah, that is how Cultstein became a thing. And the whole thing with... all right, good night, Judd. Basically, the therapist became a detective. And he was basically trying to get information out of Apple Bloom. So he's basically technically a private detective. So he's an undercover detective that basically is in there to try and find out if Apple Bloom actually did what she did. But then the story gets more and more like, it's almost like American Horror Story. Like if you've ever watched American Horror Story, you know for a fact when things start out, they kind of start out light. And then as the story progresses, things start to kind of, things that aren't really in the spotlight yet are brought to life. So it makes more sense as it goes along. That's basically how Unmarked went. It starts out low, and then as it goes along, you learn more about, like, Cultstein's history and why he is the way he is. Some things about his history of, why he's so into solving and proving the innocence of Apple Bloom. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing to do with, with that whole ordeal. It's basically American Horror Story based. Like, the concept of like the pacing is what I mean. Like, I just got into American Horror Story at that time, so I kind of got inspiration from it, I guess you could say. So it was a lot of fun to make it, but dear God, was it it was a process. I had to recast some people. I had to go through a lot. I had to go through a ton of crap to really get it to work. And just it's basically what being a content creator means anymore. Like, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work. Has anyone heard of the fanfic in Apple Sleep Experiment? Yep. It's when Applejack becomes what happens in that is she becomes corrupted by the spell Twilight gave her. Twilight gave her a spell that was meant to make her go insane, and basically it leads to Ponyville becoming a slaughterhouse. She's basically ill over Filthy Rich because she's afraid of him taking Sweet Apple Acres from them. Something I think there was something to do with also Flim and Flam in there as well, I think, or something like that. But basically, the point of that is that Twilight gave her something that she was trying to test, and it turned out to be horrible. And that's why the ending is the way it is, and why she basically puts Applejack into a cell rather than admitting that she did this. That is so up. It is unbelievable. Like, that is so screwed up unbelievably. It is just there's no other word for it except effed up. I mean, Applejack was basically killing killing people under the influence of the spell. Not spell, the like the what was it, like a potion? Yeah, a potion. Yeah, I had to watch the ending a few times just to get what it meant when why Twilight was so reluctant to tell Applejack why she wouldn't explain what had happened to Apple Bloom. Well, two things could have happened. Seeing she got bucked by Applejack into a tree. One, she either died, or two, she's paralyzed. Because basically, if you break your back, you lose every bit of your feeling. So one of those two things happen. I think it's the first one. Honestly, I do, but I like how they left that open to, just to add that dramatic effect, like that boom, like right in the heartstrings kind of thing. Yeah, it's a screwed up story, but it's a good story. Very well done. Now, I can't say the same for the Chronicle of Curseword. Now, okay, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Don't just dislike the video because I said that, okay? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's just the ending is very cop-out style. Like, it's a cop-out. Like, it feels very, I don't know, convoluted. But then I watched her, like her follow-up, I guess, podcast to it, explaining the ending and what you needed to experience in order to really get it. If you have been a victim of, like, mental or physical abuse in a relationship, like Lost was, basically you know what it feels like. You know why the ending goes the way it does. I got it, and I understood it. Then it started to make sense to me. But if you're a person who's just barely watching and you're not really aware of those things, it feels like a cop-out ending, like a very rushed ending. Like, I didn't know if there was a spell cast. Like, I did this on live stream. So I had to go back and I had to rewatch the entire part just to see if I missed something. No, I didn't miss anything. Basically, I thought either they were fucked or somehow fate had given Curseword a second chance at, proving herself. Like, that's my theory as well. I feel like seeing fate is a very, very heavy, heavy, heavy aspect in the Chronicle of Curseword. You listen to it. If you listen to it, you hear fate a lot. Like, you hear Curseword say, fate is a bitch for, putting me through this kind of stuff. Like, fate is cruel for doing these things to me. It kind of applies to, like, real life. Like, you feel like God is cursing you, not to pun the name, but you feel like God is a horrible person for putting you through what you're going through in life right now. Well, that's because life is a challenge. It's not just a fairy tale where there's this happens, and happy ending. Like, there's a perfect way to put it. Like, think of it more as an aspect to real life. Like, think of, like, okay, let's say you're homeless on the street. God has you there for a purpose. It may seem like it's a bad thing, but the reason you're there is for a reason. I was born with epilepsy for a reason. What reason? I don't know yet. I think I do know why, honestly, but he gave me it for a reason. I've been through a lot of shit in my life because of it, but it is, there's a reason. So, how you got to look at it is this is not a fairy tale. Basically, what happens, happens. There is no way out of it except to face it. That's why when it goes back in time, I feel like it's fate giving her a second chance because fate, I think, is the controller in this universe, I guess. Like the god of this universe is controlling what she's doing with her life. So I feel like fate saw that she was at her lowest point, and instead of continuously fighting her worst enemy, she instead stood by her lover's side in the face of death. Like, I feel like fate is the key. Like, her fate is set, but maybe fate gave her a second chance to prove herself because she goes right back to where it all started in the library when she met Mag, pretty much. Like, yeah, I could be completely wrong, but that's my theory. And what makes the most sense to me. Fate gave her a second chance to make right for what she did. Nothing is set in stone. Exactly. Like there's no happy ending in the case of real life. There's no final nail in the coffin. Like that's how Lost put it. Like nothing is set in stone. What happens happens. You have to deal with it, and you cannot, you know, predict your. You can't predict your fate. What happens happens, and you just gotta deal with it. There's no other way out except that. So your actions are your actions, and you have to pay for them, and you have to do what is right to make it right. Like that's how I see it, and that's how the story ending is implied. She gets her second chance. Like I get it and I don't get it. But basically, I feel like fate gave her a second chance to go back to the beginning, to where this all began, and to make it better, to try and make up for where she messed up by not being like by not communicating with Meg when she was like, oh my god, I gotta think back all the way to freaking the tale of the tale of the lost narrator. Oh my god. She had a bad day and basically told Mag, I don't want to see you ever again, basically. So rather than being communicative about, what is going on in her life, she decided to just kind of stay silent about it, and it ended up costing her her beloved. So communication is a fix already. So she can fix the communication, avoid what's her name getting into the picture, ink dye. Avoid her getting into the picture and causing trouble, and just stop fate from happening again like it did before. You know, like God, I sound like a philosopher or something like that, but I'm not. I'm just giving what I know basically about that. I mean, like I said, I don't hate the story. It's just a very analytic story. You have to really think hard and really analyze it in order to get exactly why the ending is implied as it is. Like it takes a lot of heavy thought. But you just heard. I predicted, it's basically fate's choice. Because fate is what controls you. Just like how we're all God's children. Like God is our Father in heaven, literally. Like I do believe in God, but I don't want to get into that kind of talk. But basically, what controls you can't control fate. Fate controls you, and whatever is put in your face, you have to face no matter what. You cannot avoid it. You can't just run from it. You can't run from your past. You have to face facts. That's basically how it's put in the ending. Fate just decided to give her a second chance. to make things better and avoid, making the same mistakes that she did. Like, I get the ending and I don't get the ending at the same time, but I believe it is like that kind of thing. Wow. Only an hour and a half. Well, a little over an hour and a half, but yeah, it's a damn good story. Don't get me wrong. It's just, if you don't know what the ending implies, you're going to be confused as all hell. Like, especially if you're doing a live reaction like I did. I was completely lost. Not to pun the author. Like, completely and utterly, I was lost. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't get it. So, yeah, if you want to just get the idea of, if you don't want to listen to me and you want the author's actual implication instead, go watch her podcast. That was the follow-up to the Chronicle of Curse Word. I can't even remember the name of the video, but basically it's like a follow-up podcast featuring, like, the cast and all that shit. I mean, the acting was on point. The visuals were amazing. Not everyone necessarily believes that, because not everyone is a Christian, but I do believe in God. Well, everyone has everyone. I think almost I feel like almost everyone outside of Christianity has their own view on what God actually is. And like I said, I really don't want to get into this kind of talk, but my implication on what God is not the big bearded dude upon a cloud in white robes. I believe God is a force, more of a force that, like, carries you through life. I feel that's what God is. He's more of a force than he is an actual being. Like, that's how I look. But if you want my opinion, there you go. Let's see. Atheists probably believe that fate controls you, though. Oh, atheists are heavy believers in fate. They don't believe in God, but they have their own belief on how life works. I know my camera's bad, but blame the PC makers. They put this in here. But basically, I think the final word is fate. You can't control fate. Fate is not something under your control, and you have to face whatever life puts in your face. You can't run from it. If you run from it, you're basically running from your fate. You're basically running from, you're being a coward. Basically, you're running from something that you caused yourself. So whatever's thrown in your face, you got to face full on. I've been in death's grasp before, and I punched it in the face and said, I am going to deny that you control me, and I am going to fight you tooth and nail. I refused to die over something that I was born with, unfortunately. That I was unfortunately born with. It's been a freaking battle all my life. Yes, it has been life-threatening and still is life-threatening, but it's challenged me, and it has made me who I am. This is why I'm such a strong-willed person. I've been in hospital beds. I have been in brain surgery. I've been through so many tests, I cannot name them all. I've been through hell and back. It's not pleasant, but you learn a lot. You learn a lot from it, and you become stronger. I went through 5 straight years of bullying, and it was horrible. I was sexually harassed. I was called every name in the book. I was physically abused. I was traumatized. Bullying is not cool. It can traumatize somebody, and it easily traumatized me. So, like, I still remember the day when my gym clothes were put in a different locker, and I was left in the dark in my underwear, basically crying my eyes out, wondering what the fuck what the fuck did I do to deserve this, I was basically praying. I was just asking, the force above, saying, what did I do to deserve this? I have done nothing to these people. Why do I deserve to be tortured for something that I don't even deserve? You know, it's because life's a thing. It's going to throw challenges at you and you got to face them. And to be truthful, the two people who were involved in that were confronted and put in DT for that action. That is a humongous, not a crime, but it's an offense. Like, it fell under harassment and not physical abuse, but like mental abuse. And it still is mental. I still remember the day very, very well. Piece by piece. My freaking gym teacher, who was a female, coming and finding me in the bathroom in my fucking underwear, basically crying my eyes out. This is why I'm such a strong person and why I'm so against pedophiles and why I'm against people who just bully to bully and people who basically use things as crutches. Like somebody claimed I used my epilepsy as a crutch. You've got a lot of nerve. Well, I won't even like who it was. It was you know who. But basically, he said that, and that set me off because I basically was like, okay, you have the nerve to say that and have no legitimate proof. That's it. Like, I was about ready to go through my computer and beat the living hell out of him and kill him. Because I've never used my epilepsy as a crutch. Never will. Never will. I will never use my epilepsy as a reason to make people feel bad for me or to give me something that I don't deserve. I'm not that person. I am somebody who fights my battles rather than runs from them. That's why I think I really get the idea of what the Chronicle of Curseword implied. But yeah, I've been through a lot in my life. Ever since I was 11 years old, I have been through fucking hell and back. I had my first convulsive seizure at 11 years old. 11, you remember the time. It was October 30th, 9 o'clock in the morning in my kitchen. And it was completely out of nowhere, completely out of left field. Nobody saw it coming at all. And yeah, it's a day I'll never forget. But let me tell you what, going through brain surgery and all that shit, it is not a fun experience, especially when my doctor basically called my mom saying that I was going to die if we didn't get this device set up. That was horrifying. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm on like death's grasp right now. Like, death has got his like clawy hand right here on my shoulder saying, I'm going to take you. Well, my parents are like me and they don't take a loss. They fight back. This is why I am the way I am. I don't give up. I don't give up. I know when to give up, but I don't give up unless I need to give up. And that's basically it. I'm a fighter. I'm not a selfless loser that basically will result to the lowest okay, I thought that was my stomach for a minute. But basically, I'm a stronger person by basically doing what I do. Like, I don't like, what's the terminology? I'm trying to think here. Killing people with kindness, or not kindness, silence, excuse me. Killing them with silence. I would rather walk away than engage in battle. Like, there's been times where I've had to engage in battle to basically defend myself, but I have never once had to like really engage in like heavy battle or like physical battle. Like, there was one time when I wanted to beat the living shit out of a kid that he attacked me first. Basically, I wanted to beat the living shit out of him and throw him off the edge that he was like right there. There was basically some shrubs right there, and I wanted to basically Kamehameha his ass completely down because me and this kid, we didn't get along. He was a fucking little dick. He still is a dick. He's probably in jail or prison now. I mean, Those are the people that I left behind in my past because they're losers. They don't they aren't people that I should even worry about anymore because they aren't even worrisome anymore. They're losers. They're stuck in jail. They're doing drugs. They're doing shit that is going to kill them. You know, I'm a better person. I mean, sure, I live with my parents. I can't drive. I can't do things that most 26-year-olds can do. Does it bother me? A little, but I know that it's not, you know, like what's the word? You know, liable to what I need to be in order to be me or what I need to do as a person. Like I I'm sitting here making content for you guys daily. Like I'm releasing content every day like Scribbler is. Like she's got a regimen, she's got like, you know, a whole schedule set up. Like she's got like 50 readings set up. Like I've got none for like the next 2 months. But basically the point is this. I can't drive. I can't do things like, you know, 26-year-olds can, but look at me. I am not on drugs. I'm not fucking every girl on the street. I'm not, you know, I'm not doing anything like that. I'm actually being a really good person. And that's another curse because, you know, I've never been in a relationship, but that doesn't bother me. I could go my whole life without giving up my V card and I wouldn't give a shit. Yes, I am still a virgin. I mean, no surprise, but I'm not a loser. That's the point. Look at me. I've got a following. I've got income coming every month. I am making content that I enjoy. I am being me. I'm not like my sister, who is pregnant with a third, has 2 kids from 2 different fathers, and a third one along the way. So it's gonna be freaking coming out any day now. It's gotta. I mean, she's right there. Like her belly is bulging. My meds don't stop me from driving, Mark. It's just my disability that does that. Basically, for me to drive, to get a driver's license first. I do have an ID because I needed that in order to go to what's the name of the state? I was going to Alabama back in 16, back when I was 16 years old. I went to Alabama for a private hunt. It was a life hunt. It's a 1 in a million chance of getting, but I got it because of my disability. There's another reason. So I took the biggest trophy. It still hangs on the wall proudly. But I need to get an ID in order to even get on a plane. So an ID is not a driver's license. An ID is just an identification of who you are and that you are legal. That's it. Yes, I am an uncle of 2 kids. One is a nightmare at the moment. Another's an angel. And the majority of it is her mother's fault. So I'll just go that far. But basically, I've had to go through a lot of shit in my life, and I'm still here. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I may not be the most perfect person. Nobody's perfect. I may not be the best person. I mean, I'm a damn good person. I mean, you guys know. Like I said, I wouldn't engage in battle unless I'd need to. Like recently, I had to defend my channel because someone stole a video directly from me. So I had to basically tell them, "Hey, I'm gonna throw a freaking claim at your ass that you're stealing my content. Unless you want that, get it off." That's how I put it to him because I've been going through shit with this guy. I mean, I'm behind now, but he was constantly harassing me. I'm like, it's not even a case of harassment. It's really just pathetic. But I've let it go, and I have left him behind in my past, just like the other people. Like, I still come across the people that used to bully me, but the majority of the bullies that used to bully me, okay, let's go back to when I was, let's see, how old would I have been when that happened? I think 12. right? Yeah, 12. I would have either been 13 or 14 years old when that happened. Okay. Sparrow back when he was 14 was like 5'7" or 6. Now Sparrow's a 5'1.5" tall big boy with a lot more sense and a lot more knowledge than these dummies. The majority of the bullies that used to bully little Sparrow are now afraid of me. They would rather be my friend than my enemy, which is good. I'd rather be their friend than their enemy. I don't want to go to my grave with bad blood if I have to. I'm definitely going to go to my grave with bad blah, blah, bad blood. I can't please everybody. Nobody can please everybody. Like, if somebody wants to bully me for being a brony, fuck you. You're a loser. I mean, I am who I am. I'm not a pedophile. That's one good thing. I'm not a murderer. I'm not a killer. I may write stories about that, but I'm not a killer or a murderer. I would never do that. I don't have the sense to do that. If I had to defend myself, yes, I would. Would I feel proud about it? No. Hello. Good God. RRPP? Yeah, sure. Like, I get why people would discriminate, blah, blah. God. I get why people would pick on bronies because, hello, we're men that like ponies. I mean, but honestly, at the same time, it's not a reason to pick on people because we're in a day and age when girl stuff applies to boys too. Nowadays, it does. I don't know how long alive I don't know how long in my 26 years I've seen girls wearing boy stuff or playing with boy stuff. And I'm not applying to adult stuff. I'm applying to like my mom wears my shirts every once in a while. My sister would rather wear my gym shorts rather than skinny jeans. If you want to know what the channel's about, go to the About tab. But basically, the whole thing is like, I'm just gonna put it like this: be you, but don't be stupid. If someone gives you constructive criticism or something like that, don't ignore it. I've gotten constructive criticism from some of the best. Luna Farrow, Scribbler, has lost? No, not really. But yeah, Scribbler and Luna Farrow. There's two of them. Scribbler really gave me some constructive criticism on my narration back in, was that 2018 or 2019? I think that was 2019. I want to say yes. No, 2018, because that would have been before I did Interlude, or when Interlude was released last year. Basically, she saw my whole entire narration as not me. So she basically told me, stop trying to be somebody else and be you. Just narrate as you. It took me a while to get out of this thing that I used to do and actually do my voice. Little did I know I was slowly killing my voice. Like, I've learned a lot just from watching what are they called? Like vocal coaches, learning about, the throat and how it works. You would be quite amazed at how much goes into the throat. Like, you got your little vocal flabs right here in your throat. They control, they control when you don't talk, basically. Like, you're for vocalist, you need to know these things. Otherwise, you're gonna probably ruin your voice in I'd give it about maybe 2 years at the least, because I know I'm a huge metal fan. Corey Taylor, one of the best vocalists out there, in my opinion. The guy basically thrashed his vocal cords because he was screaming incorrectly. Now, screaming in the case of vocal style is not it's not actually screaming, like, actually screaming like if you were scared. Screaming is actually really, really, like, I don't know. It takes talent. It does actually take talent because you need to learn how to do it correctly. Otherwise, your vocal cords are going to be yelling at you like after like 5 seconds. Uh, but basically, there's a whole definitive uh, like what would structure to your throat before you even hit the esophagus. Like I don't know how to put it, but there's just a lot of aspects to what's in your throat that apply to how you control your ability to scream. Hi Starlow, hi Patrick Star. But basically the trick to screaming, there's different types of screaming. The trick to screaming, and I can't do it. I honestly cannot do it. I learned from watching an actual vocalist who knows how to do vocal exercises and all that stuff, is that screaming is mostly just air. It's mostly breath. And what creates that like scream sound is distortion, which natural distortion is basically I would try to demonstrate, but I don't want to kill your guys' eardrums. Basically, if you ever hear your voice crack, that's natural distortion. Like if you talk like this and you have like a very like a natural raspiness in it, then that's natural distortion. So therefore, if it's natural, you're not killing your vocal cords. You're not hurting your throat or anything like that. But natural distortion is the key. You want to get the natural distortion rather than forcing distortion to come through from your throat. Like don't try to force it. Just try to get that natural distortion in there, and then the air is what creates the scream. Like I can't do it. I cannot do it. Like I give people like Prince whatever, Corey Taylor, who else? Guy, one of the best, Chester Bennington. Those guys are naturals at their talents. See? Even my throat's saying, nope, boy. Okay. What's the biggest donation I've gotten? Trying to remember. It was I believe it was a $99.99 one because they couldn't hit $100, something like that. Can you react to some grimdarks that you like? I've done that in the past. Go search the channel. Like it's way back in the day. I did have a reaction series to what is it called? God. Something sweet to bite. See? Throat's yelling at me. Saying, no, boy, no. Best cure right here. Oh, that coolness feels wonderful. And basically, I can say the same thing about narration. Narration also applies with how you use your throat. God, that sounds wrong, but just shut up, Sparrow. But hi, Rudy Star Pony. Basically, you need to learn how to use your voice to the best of its ability without going over the top. Like I don't know how to explain it any better than that. But basically, this is your savior right here, because because when you're narrating, you want to sound natural. So you don't want to sound like, somebody else, like when I was doing back in 2016, 2018-ish. You want to just sound really natural. Like, of course, you can always do post-editing to make your voice sound a little bit more beefy, but it's all up to you. But basically, don't don't abuse your voice in a way where it's going to make it sound horrible or really impact the throat before you even get past the first paragraph. Like, you don't want to force your throat to do something that it doesn't want to. Unless you're voice acting as a character like Dash or something like that. Like, where you have to manipulate your voice to sound like a certain character, and you have to really, really practice that voice to get it correct. I've got Dash down. Like, honestly, I've got my Dash down really good. Because she's not hard for me, honestly. She's really easy. All I gotta do is to go a little into my nasal cavity. And again, there's the different places of like the vocal range. Like down here is hang on, gotta think. Is your chest voice, throat. Then up here is your head voice. And then there's also falsetto, which is different. Have you tried the C method for your voice? I don't know what the fuck that is. But basically, this is your savior. Like, if I were to like narrate for an hour and a half without taking a drink of water, and then take a drink of water and then talk afterwards, you would hear a total difference. Like, I like doing these streams because it also helps with my narration as well, because it allows my voice to get used to talking for longer durations of time. Like, we're at 2 hours and 6 minutes. It kind of lagged. But the basic thing is just experience. Like, I'm not going to lie. The final 2 chapters of... Not the final 2 chapters. Chapter 4 and 5 of Silent Ponyville were both hour-and-a-half long recordings. So if you're going to be recording if you want to get into the recording thing and you want to make it serious, you have to learn how to adapt to your space. Like, basically, that's number one. You have to be able to withstand staying in one spot for a long duration of time. Like, you want to do like, how do I put this? When you're in your mode, you honestly don't, but like, basically doing, like, you start with a 20-minute recording at the most. Like, maybe do a low amount of like advice to anybody who wants to do fan fiction narration. Start small, don't start big, please, because it saves you a lot of... Because first things first, when you start out doing something, you're not really sure you want to do it. Okay. But if you like it, then try going for something a little bigger. But until you feel you're ready for something huge, don't go for it. Like, just stick to like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, that's a good time duration for basically a simple reading, even if it's multi-chapter. I wouldn't recommend doing a multi-chapter until you're ready. But the reason why I did multi-chapters was because I was stupid. I didn't know that you should start small and then work towards bigger stuff. This is why I waited so long before I actually did Silent Ponyville, because I wanted to do it right. I didn't want to do it incorrectly and in the case of like bittersweet excuse me, bittersweet apple acres, my god. When I reduxed it, it was a bad redux. I did not like it at all. So I'm not going to redux it again, because that'd just be kind of pointless. I don't know. Like, people that ask me to redux Reborn, I don't want to, because I feel like it's fine the way it is. I mean, that was literally the one that got the channel growing. Then a Marked came along, and of course that boosted the channel hugely. And yeah. But I did Silent Ponyville. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like older stuff on my channel, but it was a challenge. I had to take this challenge, so I did. You know, I'll get back to some stuff, but I've got one story in mind, but I'm not sure when I want to release it. I may No, it's way too late in the month. Way too late in the month. Because you're like I said, this Halloween special is taking up the majority of my time, so it is going to. So there probably won't be anything, and I mean anything, for the rest of the month. I might do streams like this where I just talk to you guys, but as for anything like productive, probably not. I won't. I cannot do a trailer this year. The time is just not there, and I cannot. I just can't do it. Like even Lost has taken a different approach to Mother Macabre this year. She's doing, what is it, like Sinister Symphonies, which I feel like this is going to be like, if you've ever listened to a Nightwish song, Nightwish song, um, basically they tell stories in their songs. It's like an orchestral like style in like rock metal. This is what I think this is going to be. It's going to be like an orchestral, like kind of an orchestral arrangement, telling a story, like maybe a grimdark story, kind of like Phantom of the Opera in a way. But yeah, my throat's really yelling at me right now. That's good. Thing Z from low pitch to high pitch. It trains your vocal cords. That's interesting. But basically, I think I've learned how to control my voice to the best of my ability, as far as I can go right now. Like, yeah, I don't really know any other interpretation of my voice. Like, voice acting is kind of still new to me, but I'm slowly but surely getting there. Like, just playing around with the main six has really opened my mind to like different voices and like different ways to adapt to a voice. Like Twilight's just very nasally, Dash is very raspy and nasally. Like my voice is naturally raspy, so it's like I said when I was doing those pinky yelps in like in chapter 5 when she gets hit by her other pinky with the butcher's knife. Whenever I would attempt to yelp, what would happen is Dash would come and she'd be, yeah, like that. Let's see. Is Silent Ponyville 4 fully released? No, it was actually canceled by the author because the author basically ran into a wall. He couldn't come up with anything new. He couldn't really go any further without repeating something. Like he ran into some repetition and just really had a hard time putting it together. And he just didn't have enough time to put it together. He did, though, leave it open to people who did want to complete it. And before you ask it, no, I am not going to complete it. I don't know Silent Hill enough to really know how to interpret something like that. I mean, I know I've read Silent Ponyville and all that, but that's just reading. That's not really experimenting. I did do some research while I was doing Silent Ponyville, but that's really all I ever did. I'm not really a huge Silent Ponyville person, or Silent Hill person. Like, if you want someone who can do that better than me, Lost is a humongous Silent Hill fanatic. She could do this. Like, she could, but again, timing just isn't there, people. Sad though, but it's okay because it's kind of been a little oversold, if you get my drift. Like, I feel like it's gone too far, in my opinion. I feel like Silent Ponyville 1 could have been one on its own, and that would have been fine. Like, I really just really think that Silent Ponyville 2 had a humongous problem. The moral made no sense. Like, I've said this in another stream. It would have made more sense for Fluttershy's reasoning for to come to Silent Ponyville to to realize that her killing her mother, she didn't actually kill her mother. She defended herself. That would have been much more. That would have made much more sense than her father, her dick of a father, being forgiven. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Twilight's voice is mediocre sounding. Rarity's voice is lavish sounding. Fluttershy's voice is quiet sounding. Applejack's voice is low pitched. Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie are high pitched. Applejack was not originally low pitched. It was very high, actually. Ashley had to actually manipulate it so that it would, because whenever she would do Applejack at a higher tone, Dash would eventually come out. So she had to lower it to much lower voice to get a sounding character. Twilight's voice is not really mediocre. It's just Tara Strong. Tara has a humongous variety of like voices. But I think the one who beats them all is Tabitha St. Germain. I mean, seriously. Tabitha has voiced so many characters that you can't even count all of them. As far as My Little Pony goes, anyway. Rainbow Dash has a raspy, high-pitched voice, but Pinkie Pie doesn't have that rasp in her voice. Pinkie's just very ecstatic. Even her voice is hard for me to do. It's just me very, very crazy sounding. Like, hi, guys, this is Sparrow. Welcome to my stream. Like, I do that creepy smile when I'm actually doing the voice. Is anyone here watching a good female voice? Okay. I know a lot of Silent Hill, just like Lost, but I'm sadly male, so... Have you reacted to Silent Ponyville 3? Can you give us commentary about the narrator of that? It's the same it's the same voice? Oh, the narrator. I have not actually seen Silent Ponyville, nor have I really had any interest. I just recently got into it, so I haven't really had time to, look at the others. I had only seen Silent Ponyville 2, or technically listened to it, when I did Silent Ponyville 1. I did have to take a peek at some of Goody's, because there were some points where I was like, what the hell should this sound like? The half Philly creature, for instance. I'm like, it says it's like a high shrieking scream kind of sound. I'm like, oh my God. So I just manipulate my voice to sound more like a growl rather than anything else, because Kate Bug did the sound effect for Goody's, and I'm not female, so there you go. As long as you get the idea, I think that's the important aspect. But I don't know of anybody who's really well, Scribbler pointed out one. I think, who was it that read Silent Ponyville 3? I'm trying to remember. The guy, a weird name. It's not Straight to the Point Studio. God, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember the name of them. But basically, I think I'm done with Silent Ponyville for now, because Silent Ponyville was a lot of work, guys. It was tons of work. Oh, that's so much better. So yeah, I've got this Halloween project to finish. I'm taking it day by day, just slowly but surely. Just keep myself sane in between, and just trying to not overstress myself like I did last year. Like, last year was just a rushed mess. I mean, Twilight's Transmission just did great. It had 50 viewers upon its premiere. That's fucking crazy. Let's see. What was the other one? Creation. It did about as average as I thought it would. Let me think here. Was it just those three? Yeah, it was. The last one, Initiation, was a rushed as crap one. I mean, seriously, it was. I mean, it's not a bad story, but it's got its problems. I'll just say that, but it's something. There you go. It was a rushed miss and just all over the place last year. Like I showed up way late to the party. I had hit writer's block on initiation, and that was the main problem why it was so goddamn late. I have commentary about the narrator of Silent Ponyville 3. He was mostly recording straight. I can notice yawns between his words. Shadow of Sickness did the same thing for Silent Ponyville 1. He read it all in one take. Dear God Almighty. I couldn't do that if I tried because every narrator's different. There's some people who can nail it like one take, no problemo, like not even fuck up once. Then there's those people like me that just basically have a disability that kind of makes it hard sometimes. Like I'm not throwing it in there as an excuse. It's just a fact. Sometimes when I'm reading, my brain has a brain fart, and yeah, that's mainly the reason why sometimes I screw up or I run into a word that I don't know. So I'll just be like, I'll figure it out later. You know, I've never done anything like raw. Never have I done something raw, except for the narration streams that I did with Reborn Chan and yeah, so on and so forth. Anyways, I think I'm going to call the stream here because my throat's actually getting mad at me and I'm actually hungry. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, minus all the spam that I got into the comment section. But whatever. It's part of being big on YouTube, I guess. But I bid you all a good night, and can you show us some more bloopers? I want to see you furious about reading a horror story. I have some. Go check my blooper and subs milestone thing. But yep, everybody have a good night and happy horrors until the next time, and farewell until next time.